Hey, today I want to share with you how to start a business in your 40s. And this recently came up with someone I was chatting with who is getting ready to start a new business. And it got me thinking about when I started my business 11 years ago. And you know, what's interesting is it was a tough time. My wife and I just had twins. We had 5 children in 7 years. In fact, I remember a day when she called me at the grocery store because the card wasn't working. And I remember getting that phone call, looking at my bank account on my phone and realizing I only had $27 in my bank account. And fast forward to today, we've built a successful business training company, networking group that operates in 26 states. But I never forget those days that I had $27 and starting that business. That's why she reached out to me to say, hey Chaz, can you help me as I get ready to start this business in my 40s? My goal today is to help you walk through a few steps to really, how do I take my idea and turn it into income. This lady that came to me, she's really good at teaching piano. She plays the piano, she's really good at teaching others to play piano. And so that became the idea. And the first step what I was asking you to do is write down the amount of money, the income that you need to make, because all of this is simplified into a math equation. I always joke that business simplified is math. And frankly, transparently, I was not good at math in high school. And if I can do it, anyone can do this to make this really simple. So I'm going to share with you kind of what we walked through. And the goal for her was to make $4,000. That was the goal, right? If I can make at least $4,000, I can live. I can step away from something I'm doing. So we identified that. That is the very first step, right? Not all the other things that come with business. I need a big business plan, which I'm going to walk you through here in a second. How you can make a simple one-page business plan to now put you on a path. But what she realized is, okay, now this is the amount. This is the base minimum I need, $4,000. So we walked through it and I said, well, if you take that, that's monthly, right? That's in a month. What do you need then in a week? And she said, well, that's simple. I need $1,000. I said, great. How many days can you work? She said, I can work 5 days a week. I can work Monday through Friday. The challenge is I have little kids. And so I can only work for about 5 days, but I can only work about 4 hours a day. I have a 4-hour window that I can work within. All right, no problem. So again, we just do the math, right? This would be $200 a day, which 4 hours, she needs to charge $50 an hour. $50 an hour is now how we set her rate minimum to start, right? And then we check that against other people to see if that makes sense for $50 an hour. And it does. She could probably charge more, but to start, that's where she's gonna go. We've got now at least the goal of what she's going to work for. Now, this is what I would say to you. I set a goal that I know I can achieve. So I'm a firm believer, setting something like this with her at 4,000. If she hits this, what does that do for her, right? You hit your goal, what does it do for you? You now have belief. How do I take this idea now, turn it into monthly revenue, and now know my goal? Where do I go from here? So I'm going to share this with you. Put this up on my board. This is how I build every business that I have. This is how I build my business plan. It's one page, all on one page. We call it a 135 GPS, right? Because it's one goal, 3 priorities, and up to 5 steps. And the GPS primarily because GPS only works if you know where you are and where you want to go. Everything is on here of what I need to do. At least for the next 90 days, I can focus on this. So let me walk you through what you would build on your 135 is similar to this. Her primary goal. Now we created a SMART goal, which means specific, measurable, action-based, realistic, and time-bound. So her goal is specific. Earn $4,000 per month by, and then she needs to have a date by which she will achieve that. Then we create 3 priorities, okay? Priority 1 for you really would be a marketing priority. And the reason being is because with marketing, she needs to set up several things. And to start, as simple as what's your company name? What's your business name? Right? What's the business name? It could be very simple, and I would encourage you to keep the business name simple. And you should set up with your business name, and I'll get into this in other training videos about how to set it up, but you should really set up your business name, file a simple doing business as, and then set up your own bank account for your business because you want to run all your funds through a separate bank account, which we'll talk about in a separate video. Number 2, it says logo and branding. The reason why the logo and branding is important is because she needs to set herself apart. You don't want to look like you just made this up last night. You want to look like you're a professional business. So you need a simple logo. One of the best ways to create a logo if you're not like graphically inclined like myself, when we created our business here, Master Networks, this is our company and this logo, which again looks really simple. I probably could have created it. However, what we did is we went to a website called 99 Designs and we put out there what we were looking for, and for a couple $100, we had multiple designers, and it creates a contest. And they keep making them better with feedback, and then at the end of like 5 days, you pick a winner, they get paid, and now you have the files. There's also another website called Fiverr. For real cheap, you can get somebody to build a logo for you. Then after you have your logo and branding, you're gonna wanna build a website. And again, there are lots of free places you can build really inexpensive or free websites, but you need to have something. Then the fourth step I had on here was social media. And all that means is I'm just gonna simply create a Facebook page or a LinkedIn page. Don't worry about all the posting on it yet, just a simple one with your brand and your logo on it. And then the last one for her, a step I created was a scheduler, right? Because she's doing piano lessons. So people need to have a way to schedule online, a simplified way. We're past the days of like, oh, I'm just gonna keep a notepad of how, who's coming this week in a simple calendar. No, she needs to have something online. Your steps could be different. I'm just using this as an example for you on what to do to create simple priorities and steps. If you don't set a deadline for yourself, it doesn't get done. And what I have found in my experience for most people, especially in their 40s, when they're looking to start a business, is we procrastinate. We sometimes have a fear of failure. So what do? We actually hold back. We don't take that step. My advice would be put a deadline when you will have each of these done. Okay, it gives you something to work towards. Priority 2, in her case, we've got some marketing done. Now we need to generate some leads. So some ideas we talked about. Some social media posts. She's teaching piano at her home. One of the simplest things she can do is join the neighborhood Facebook pages and post in there, hey, I started my business, name, here's my logo attached with my website and my scheduler in the post. If you know of somebody that would love to take piano lessons, they can reach out to me here, and she can start posting those. Right, so very simple posts. This one, it says, call friends. They're your friends for a reason. And I'm not talking like just Facebook friends, right, that you don't really know, they're just on your social media. These are your friends that you actually call friends and you hang out and do stuff with. You reach out to them and you say, hey, I've just started this business. Who do you know? This is a great phrase. Who do you know that I should be talking to that may have somebody that wants to take piano lessons? And then the other idea we came up with was music stores. Reaching out to music stores because people come in, they buy instruments or they buy music, and then they may ask, hey, who could teach me how to do this? Right? So music stores are great. By the way, if you love the content that I'm sharing, go ahead and click like and subscribe to our channel for future videos and updates when we share content like this. All right, great. Last, networking. This is such a key, right? Because it kind of goes with your friends. Who you know and the company you keep matters in business. And I always say, if you want to know how successful your business is going to be, take a look at the size of your network. Okay, if your network is really large, you have huge opportunity for success. And if it's not, it's okay. That's why the first thing we said is join a networking group. You can join a networking group like Master Networks. We have them in 26 states around the country and growing every day. And you say, wow, I'm an introvert. Let me just tell you, networking works for introverts as well. I'm actually fairly introverted. That's why this video is even hard for me to do, because I'm very introverted. To join a networking group allows you to go in and talk about what you do, build relationships, and now you have an army of people, 15, 20, 25, 30. These people are going out and telling their friends about your new idea, your new business. Again, in the example here, you've got somebody who's teaching music lessons. Her network is now out, plugged in. We call it a reticular activator. Think about the last time you bought a new car, right? And you go in, you buy this brand new car, and you pull out the lot, and all of a sudden you notice that car's everywhere. But yesterday, no one had that car. Today, everyone drives that car. Your network will be plugged in to what you do. And so if you're teaching, you have an idea, your product, your service. If you're teaching music lessons, piano lessons, they're gonna be plugged into that, and they're gonna hear of people who need music lessons. They'll send them that way. The next one we put on here is find a mentor. Find somebody who's done, who has been or is where you want to be. And maybe it's, in this case, not the same business, but they can walk that path for you. For me, years ago, I reached out to somebody. He was several years older than me, but he'd built multiple businesses. And I just reached out and said, could I take you to lunch? And can I ask you some questions about how to build a successful business? And it needs to be somebody who cares about your success, but isn't too close to you that they can't say the things that you need to hear, if you know what I'm saying. And then in this one, it was connect with other music teachers, meaning the mentors may be outside the industry, These are people inside my industry. Especially for us over 40, sometimes we tend to not ask for help. And the reality is that there's people all over who've already walked this path who could reach out, right? They could reach out, we could reach out to them, and they would share their wisdom with us. They would share things that would help us along the path. I know that when you start a business in your 40s, it can be scary, it can be a little bit challenging. But if you follow the advice that I shared with you, these are very simple things. Go through the economics, go through your 135 GPS. If you want access to the 135 GPS, go ahead and click the link below in the notes, and we'll send that out to you so you can just plug in and practice. Just go in and practice, plug it in, then share it with somebody and say, hey, does this look like a viable business plan? Go ahead and practice that and then take those steps, do it. Again, if you like this content and you want more of this, go ahead, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.